Hallelujah. Giving, hallelujah. God is praise. Hallelujah. Give him the highest praise. Hallelujah. Give me the highest praise. In the morning when I wake up, in the night when I wake up, I will lift up my voice to heaven and give you the highest praise. Hallelujah to my King. Hallelujah to my Father. Hallelujah to my Jesus. Above is all the truth. When I look on the water and I see all the creation, the beauty of the universe, you never change. You never lie. You never change. You never change. Hallelujah to my Jesus. Hallelujah. 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 Hey, hey. Hallelujah. Hey. Giving. Hallelujah. Hey. The highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Hey. Giving the highest praise. I'm not afraid, Jehovah. I'm not walking, Jehovah. You deserve the praise. I'm not praising. You deserve everything. The worshiping. Oh, you give me life. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Today is Sunday, the 16th day of the month of May. This is a special edition of the Freedom Watch. The politics of USA going to factor in here as well. Two young Liberian contesting for political offices right there in Philadelphia. They're going to be joining us here very shortly. I am Afonso Zayn, so happy Sunday. Welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe, and thank you for sharing your Sunday with us. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Give him the praise. Hallelujah. Give me the highest praise. Ooh, hallelujah. Oh, yeah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah to my Jesus. Hey, hallelujah. Sing praises to the Lord. Lift up your hands and worship. Lift up your voice and pray. Hallelujah, I lift up my life for Jesus. I will worship you, Yahweh, Yahweh. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah to Jesus. Oh, yes, hallelujah. Given the higher praise by Minister K. Praise. Is a Liberian gospel artist based in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. Traditionally, is our theme song here, and they are doing good. It's part of our commitment to showcase the qualities in our artists far and near, and so that's the opening theme song here. Very shortly, our folks are going to be joining us here as well. So we're going to have a conversation here. It's going to be a mix of a topic here, but in the meantime, we're going to be having two young Liberians contesting for political offices in Philadelphia in the borough that they're going to be joining us here, and there are other Liberians in the vanguard supporting their political quest. And I think it's a very good thing to do. There you see there, Mr. Joar Dahn is contesting for the borough of Darby mayorship. That's him there. So he's going to be part of, he's going to be our guest here this evening right here on the Liberia Public Radio, believe me or not. And we want to see how he came to this political decision
and we're going to be having that conversation here very shortly. And as well, some of his supporters, and we are also getting the name of another Liberian who is contesting for city council leadership, right? He also going to be joining us here, and we're going to be having this conversation as well. I think it's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to do to get involved here as well in order to be inclusive. So pretty well, it's important. But as usual, so let's see here. There are a lot of alarming, disturbing news coming from Liberia as well. According to the local daily, the front page Africa is reporting to Liberia to rank 5th most corrupt country in Africa. We are in the number 5 position, corrupt country in Africa. That is alarming. It's not good for our country. Why corruption? We should have a wall of Jericho of corruption, dishonesty in society. Public service, to be in a public service is a very unique thing to do, to give back to your country. But it has become a problem. People who goes into public service, they are not taking advantage of the privilege to lead, to encourage, to build their people. Instead, they are turning the wheel around in their very favor by so doing to enrich themselves. And this is what we are hearing. In the midst of all of these that is unfolding, to be the 5th poorest country in Africa, ranked in number 5 position, is troubling. Well, let's see how that's going to happen. We don't know how the government is going to respond to that. Having gone through this article extensively as well, I've been engaged in other things here, but we want to see it, the factors and some of the conditions outlined in this article. I wouldn't allow me myself beat the caption to take me away. I'll have to read it, digest it, and maybe to place a call with Front Page. It's our own friend and brother who did this article, Linnant Dodu of the Front Page Africa. He is the news desk bureau chief of Front Page Africa. He did this, so I'm quite sure they did extensive research and as to how they came up with this. That's not going to be basically the talking point here. Hopefully, our guest going to be here. We're going to have that here. But in the meantime, we're going to be talking politics. We can't keep to confine ourselves in our own comfort zone. We need to get out a little bit and to see how we can be accommodated in the society that we find ourselves in. Against this backdrop, this young Liberian, Joar Dahn, is contesting for the positions of the borough of Darby, mayor positions. I believe the elections is slated for the 18th. And we are also hearing another Liberians contesting for the city council position. There is also in the process. So it's quite interesting. We're going to be having a conversation with them as well. All right, so let's stick and stay, and hope folks that are supporting them, they're going to be here to get it started here. Now we're going to be having the conversation here very shortly. I am Alfonso Zeyenso of the Liberia Public Radio. The other gentleman by his name of Hafi Tunis. Our understanding, he's contesting for the councilman to be a councilman for Upper Darby Township. He's going to be joining us here as well for us to have this conversation. But in the meantime, other news making headlines as usual. We always like to take you on a ride on some of the news making headlines. It's still crazy in Israel. The strike is continuing. Netanyahu, who is the prime minister of Israel, says Gaza campaign continue with full force. So it means the launchings of tolerate attacks on the Palestinian positions, Gaza, the West Bank is still inflamed. We heard, those of you who are news freak like myself, President Joe Biden according to major news network, has spoken with Mahmoud Abbas and that of the Prime Minister of Israel calling for ceasefire. In fact, the Security Council is currently is in the emergencies sections. So we hope this will come to an end very shortly. I am Afonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Let's have a little quick commercial here from some of our sponsors who are helping to keep the wheel of this industry spinning. I will be right back.
Welcome to Uncle Musa Grocery, 6523 Woodland Avenue in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I'm a customer of Uncle Musa. I came here to get some things from grocery. Their things are so nice. They never get expired. They are the best quality. They have the best price ever anyone can get. They have so many things like cream, like meat, a lot of kind of meat. We have so many kind, and it's the best grocery store I've ever seen here in Woodland. We are located at the 65th and Woodland. If you want, I really appreciate you guys to come over to come and patronize with us because they sell the best quality.
Uncle Musa's Groceries on Woodland Avenue, 6523 Woodland Avenue, Philadelphia, PA. Musa's store is composed of varieties of African food as well as Americans, but predominantly African food. You have dry fish, you have cassava, you have yams, you have plantains, bananas, and Musa even goes out of his way to pay people extra to cut the potato grains for customers to save them extra time. We have deeper, we have fufu, we have the refrigeration center, then we also have cosmetics. This is a place to come in Philadelphia. If you come to Philly, you don't reach to Uncle Musa's Groceries, you have not made your trip complete. Welcome, and we look forward to seeing you sponsoring our business. Thank you.
This is Uncle Musa's store, 6523 Woodland Avenue. It's the only store, a grocery store, that deals with African stuff. Anything African thing, you can get in Uncle Musa's store. I am from Igbo in Nigeria. So, ndị Igbo dum, onye ọbụla wụ onye Igbo, ya bịa na Uncle Musa's store, 6523 Woodland Avenue. Ọ ebe ọ ga-enweta anything wụ ihe ndị Igbo na-eri. Welcome to Uncle Musa Grocery, 6523 Woodland Avenue in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The business, we have a business on grocery store or African food, all West African food from Liberia, mostly Liberian food. And we have a palm oil imported from Liberia, and we have a very good customer service. If a customer buy from Uncle Musa Grocery, you get bonus certain times, and things are very reasonable. We have a good palm oil. Anything you want from Africa, West Africa, you can get it from Uncle Musa Grocery. We do retail and wholesale. So you can visit, and we have a couple of stores in Philadelphia. We have one on 6523 Woodland Avenue, and another one is a clothing store on 6519 Woodland Avenue. And we have another one on Upper Darby, Gary Road. So you're welcome for shopping. Everything is nice. Customer service perfect. So that's it. Bye-bye.
That's Uncle Musa is one of our sponsors here on the Liberia Public Radio. His business is in Philadelphia. For those of you who live within the Philip area, you know that exactly. Anything that you're looking for, you can easily find it at Uncle Musa store. So just giving some sponsorship as well. I take a time to visit there, and we're going to do here. Hopefully, the group going to be here by courtesy of the campaign for Mr. Dahn. Let's see if we can play this little short video. It's 4:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The rendezvous is set for 4:45 to 5 o'clock. So we hope they're going to be here. Let's see here. Hopefully we can have this for you. Let's take a look at this.
Welcome to Fabric Queen of Wooland. Everyone that's looking for a nice African for wedding, whatever fabric you need, you can just come over here. You have all this nice stuff. If you need ashebi, you guys can come over here for baby shower, for wedding. You guys are welcome. She have really nice stuff. You can see all over there, all those men over here. You don't have to go to the theater and then they're going to be telling you all kind of stories. You can just come here. They're already made. And for ladies, you can just look for whatever fabric you're looking for and match it for the men. And, your husband already have a shirt made. You can get stuff for your kids. You can get stuff for the whole family. We have African slippers and ashobi hand ties all over. We have different kinds of lists and everything. So you guys are welcome, okay? It's really nice. It's Fabric Queen on 6695 off of Wooland. 6625 Wooland Avenue, okay? So you guys are welcome, 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 welcome. You have nice stuff here for ladies, for men, for kids, and for everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia is 100% African-owned business. At Fabric Queen, we are specialized in high quality wax product, Swiss lace, jewelry, and beauty products that will make you shine like the queen of fabrics. We are located at 6625 on Woodlands Avenue, 10 Philadelphia. Telephone number 215-800-0228. Tell the management of Fabrics Queens in Philadelphia is easy and salt of the Liberia Public Radio gives you this message. Tell all Akwaba. All right, that's Fabrics Queen. Let me go to this little video clip here while we await our guests to be here. Hopefully, they will be on time. It's 4:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's see this here.
Hello, neighbors. For those that may not know me, my name is Joar Dahn, and I hope to meet you sooner rather than later. I've spent my entire professional career serving others, especially the residents of Darby Borough. Today, February 1st, 2021, the first day of Black History Month, I would like to make history right here in my own hometown of Darby Borough by officially announcing my candidacy for mayor. Making history is nothing new to Darby, as we are a very historic borough, from Friends Meeting House to the historic Free Library of Darby, where I spent many summers. Last week, I celebrated my 15th year in America. I remember 15 years ago, getting off that plane at JFK International Airport in New York, and finally feeling a sense of security because I was in America. I never knew what security felt like prior to that. I had lived in Ghana for 5 years as a refugee, escaping the brutal Liberian Civil War. After getting off that plane, I was eager to finally experience the American dream, a promise of a better life. In my 15 years in Darby, I've accomplished a lot, from being the captain of our local youth sports teams to eventually becoming one of the youngest statewide public official for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, courtesy of our governor and our state senate. I am Darby Borough. I'm homegrown. From spending many summer days playing football at Penwood Middle School to eating cassava leaf at JD's Liberian restaurant and to the many memorable youth nights at Kia Graves. Even my primary care provider is right here in Darby Borough. As a young man, I was always told that we, the youth, are the future leaders of tomorrow. Well, tomorrow is today, and the future is now. I hope I can count on your support. Please follow all of our social media platforms below to find out how you can support me on this journey and for more information on my campaign. Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Hopefully they're going to be here. That's Mr. Joar Dahn. Is a Liberian based in Philadelphia. He's contesting for the Borough of Philly mayorship. And another Liberian Hafatonis is also contesting for the councilman to be on the city council. It's a great beginning. And I hope Liberians, especially within that constituent, will listen to him and give him the opportunity. Let us not find ourselves in our old traditional ways of doing things. That's sort of a crack kingdom word. You can't get it, so nobody should get it. He's a young person. He listened. It's a quite fascinating story. 15 years ago, landed at JFK, the John F. Kennedy International Airport. And in his word, he felt the sense of security. You're coming from Africa at that time, Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, you still feel like you are in Liberia and you are on the borrows of the guns. And so coming here was a big relief. We all experienced that. So it's not it's a reality. He's speaking his guts. And I think we must encourage him and we must do everything possible. And not just only in Liberia. However, I have a concern of one thing. And I have to express it here because I saw that factoring in during the last race in Minnesota where 2 Liberians were involved. And they had their own supporters. But I realized the tone of their supporters. Some of them are holding major platform. They managed to transition this sort of Liberian politics and seditions and from the opposition. And so they were just tearing these candidates down. And remember, if we even to do a statistic, how many voters do we have from in our own community? Like, when it comes to voting, we're going to do triples, we're going to do double. And people monitor these conversations that we are having. And I'll be very specific. It was ugly between Micah Gilmont and that of Mr. Henry Costa, because Gilmont was supporting one side and Costa was supporting one side. Knowing the history of these people, Gilmont is a strong supporter of the ruling establishment, which is okay. Mr. Costa is also a critic of the other side. But they forgot to know this is America. And there are other people that will be finding interest to listen to these sons or daughters that are going to be contesting, not just on it Liberian. And so that's sort of a little tap-loss politics that we play in Liberia. If they bring it here, it makes it a problem for us. They shouldn't bring that here. Let them leave it right Rawafi. It shouldn't even cross to Sierra Leone. It is ridiculous. People here, the politics here, it hits on issues of substance. What you can do, your agenda. It's not a Liberian popularity contest. If you get a loud mob and they elect you, yeah, we are now. The front page is reporting. The 5th poorest country in Africa is because we do not make informed decisions. So nobody should put a dent on these young and aggressive Liberians who are trying to be incorporated into the politics of this country. We complain Spanish people everywhere. We complain Spanish people everywhere. That's how it starts. It starts at a lower level and gradually. So please, these radio hosts, you don't bring down your Liberian politics because that group by guilt actions is what they're doing. Let the people make their informed decision. Your sedition, that's okay. Your opposition, that's okay. But don't bring that sort of ugly, deadly, and useless politics here. One of the persons in the vanguard are supporting this young Liberian based in Philadelphia is Mr. David Bantu. David Bantu is the former president of the Bowson District Association and also one of the community leaders. Let me just join. Hopefully our guest is going to be here. Time is gradually taken away. Let me bring in Mr. Bantu here. Mr. David Bantu, good afternoon and welcome on LPR. I'm not hearing you. Watch your mic. No, you're still close. Okay. Something. It's not from my end here. Speak, let me hear it. It was sounding much better, but I don't know. You're coming through, but it's very low. You want to check the volume of your device. Okay, I believe our guest is here. So let me see here. Mr. Banto, be working on that, folks. Here we go. I am Afonso Ziansot of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Let's see our guest. The young mayor ain't waiting in the borough of Darby. This is a big day. It is huge. I hope the grand game work is being done. Let me bring in Mr. Dan standing by right now for today's program. Stay tuned. Okay, let's get the ball rolling here. It's no time to waste. From what I see, the mayor in waiting is on wheel. It's time to knock the doors and time to go after all voters. Votes count in this process. Mr. Dante, good afternoon. Welcome to Liberia Public Radio. It is an honor and pleasure to have you. What an amazing story from that little clip from your campaign thing 15 years ago. I landed here and there was a sense of security. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Soul. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay.
And thank you to can you hear me?
Loud and clear, and the world hearing you.
Okay. Thank you for hosting me on your platform, and thank you to our viewers for tuning in as well. Just a quick introduction about me. As Mr. Soul said, my name is Joar
Dahn. The audio a little bit faint. Hold on 1 second, Joel. The audio a little bit faint away. I'm quite sure you guys are driving. Can we go ahead?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better.
Okay. I'm sorry. My guys are out. We're out knocking on doors right now.
Yeah,
so
that's the best. Yeah, that's the best thing to do. Yeah, but go ahead. So we're gonna manage it.
Absolutely. So I'm here, to as an extra advocacy effort to mobilize our community, the community as in mostly the immigrant community. And the reason I'm taking this extra time to do that, is because it's very important. In Darby, our immigrant community is very large, but unfortunately, historically speaking, we usually don't know how to vote, which is, the only barrier we have facing us right now. Facing us as in my campaign. So simply put, for this election, should the immigrant community come out, obviously not just Liberians, but the Sierra Leoneans and the Guineans and the Ivorians, so many different other Western African communities are here in Darby. And Darby literally is a microcosm of what America is. When we keep talking about America, that melting pot, when you really want to see melting pot, come to Darby. Everybody from different areas are there, and it's also my understanding that a lot of our residents, a lot of my constituents are tuned into this platform. They usually listen to this platform, the Liberia Public Radio and TV. So I want to extend my gratitude to you guys for bringing me on here and, connecting me with my future constituents. So thank you so much for having me tonight.
Okay, so let's get the ball rolling here. And I think you are doing the right thing. It's every vote counts. You got to be on wheel. I'm quite sure there's someone there who is pushing you here. And first of all, let me just get it off strictly off my cuff. I want to say a big thank you for taking such a courage. It's huge. It's motivating, and exactly what's our calling on other folks to rally around you. And we all, it doesn't matter where you live, but we have people in Philadelphia or within that borough there to make a phone calls and talk to people. That's how we will get involved in the politics of Liberia. I mean, in America. Quickly here, Mr. Dahn, how you arrive at this point? Why?
That's an interesting question. So my grandfather, for those that may be watching that may know him, is the Honorable Jimmy Dahn, former permanent chief of Nima County. So I guess you could say something like it was in my blood. But essentially, in this route, basically, without even a push of my family weren't the one that said, let the young man go to school and study. As a matter of fact, my family actually discouraged me from studying political science when I wanted to go to college. You know, they wanted me to study, you know, I think engineering, but I always had a passion for helping other people and, you know, making sure I can whatever I can do in my weak ways to make other people's lives easier. I always had a passion for that. So, you know, I was always in position to help other people. I was always in leadership position, even with something as simple as being captain of our local sports team. You know, we don't think much of those when you're growing up, but all of those things, it ends up growing into traits, into characteristics that, you know, you can take on into your professional life. And these, to me personally, this is what I attribute all of my current, quote unquote, success to. And I'm quoting unquoting because, you know, we are still growing. You know, there's still a lot more we have to do. There are still a lot more we have to accomplish. For one, we got to win this race here in Darby. So I think, you know, I got here basically just serving the people. I started with student government. I was the student government president at my university, a predominantly white institution. I was the student government president at my elementary school. I've been involved with the student council and student government all my life. So all of those things ended up transitioning into, you know, my professional career. So I attribute my leadership, even our churches. You know, I was president of our church youth, Catholic youth organization, and all of those things. I didn't think much of that at the time, which is exactly what I'm saying here. You know, all of these small things I was doing, I didn't think it would put me into a position to be, you know, where I would say, okay, maybe I can actually make something out of this thing. Maybe I can, you know, actually get a platform bigger enough to be able to help more people. And surely that's what we were able to do here. So my work that I was
you never had a slighter thought, and you didn't know how this thing going to be pay off here, because we get some quite fascinating images here, and that's the sort of narrative I was on here. Yet young Liberians, 15 years ago, a guy of color, predominantly with the white boys in that place. This photo here, let's talk about this photo here. Let me see whether you can see that. Let's talk about this photo here, a little bit here. It is important that we give a full intro who you are. It doesn't matter of the age, but the wisdom and the ability to get things done. So I am happy. I am excited what you are doing. And all of us, every Liberian, everywhere, we have friends, we have relatives within that area should begin to place a phone call. When is this election?
This election is about 72 hours away. It's on Tuesday.
You kidding me?
It's upcoming Tuesday.
72 hours. Are you nervous?
Honestly speaking, no, my man. We've been doing the work. We've been mobilizing. So at this point, we're just holding on to faith and optimism. You know, actually, I wouldn't say I'm nervous. I would just, you know, we're prepared. I would be nervous when I feel like we were ill prepared. But as far as, you know, preparation, our boys, we've been knocking the doors. You know, the boys and girls been out here knocking the doors. The elders in the community been doing what they needed to do. We've been at local churches. We've been at literally every community you can think about in Darby. We've had some kind of mobilization efforts with them. So at this point, you know, we've given all we had. So I don't think, you know, it doesn't serve us any purpose to be nervous.
Yeah, I mean, that's just part of the conversation here. I don't think I've seen this sort of energy in you there. So pretty well, you are satisfied with the ground game so far?
I'm sorry?
I said pretty well you are satisfied with the ground game, your campaign, and your folks are putting time there. But I've been talking to Mr. Bounto and other folks out there, and every time I say, oh, we are out there. And I'm really, really happy for them to come over here. What is the level of support? And I know campaign is all about being very strategic. Unfortunately, we just going to know is Tuesday here. But is your own community, take your own time, you know, it's a date, we're going to give it to you. It's your own community. If I say your own community within the Liberian corridor, what is the level of support so far?
Yeah, so I'll answer that question broadly, and then I'll narrow it down to the Liberian community. In general, the level of ground game we're happy with, because we've been knocking on doors literally since February, since we first announced. And I personally have knocked over 1,000 doors. So as far as the knocking door part, we've been doing it. We've identified so far what we call ones and twos in our political language here in Pennsylvania and actually in the United States is people that have identified, you have identified supporters. So far to win this race, the target number that we've put together, we've identified more ones and twos, which is people that have told us yes. We've identified enough that if those people that told us yes over these past few months, if they come out, we should be able to win. We projected a win if they come out. So those, once again, those are just people that told us yes. So
You're right.
realistically speaking, you gotta think about. Sometimes people just say yeah because you went and asked them.
Right.
They'll be telling you yes, but it actually means no and things like that. So numbers wise, statistic wise, if everybody that told us yes stick to that yes, we are in solid shape. And the honest truth is, majority of the people that told us yes were not Liberian people. Most of them was my American supporters, my Black American supporters, my white American supporters. But I as a young Liberian man, I'm counting on the immigrant community, especially to come out too.
I think, yeah, I mean, that's your base, and it's very crucial. I mean, we have to get that numbers. What are the Sierra Leoneans? What are the Nigerians? What are the Ghanaians, Congolese, whatever they are? They have to come out. And Liberia has to be in the vanguard because it is their own, it is their son, it is their father that is taking this bull by the horn. And that's how these other people will say, oh, this group of people, they are involved here. Yes, they started at that level. So we have to do everything possibly we can. Do you have volunteers who are willing to go to the end of this marathon, making sure, getting the voters to the pool on time to get that ballot cast, and everything is done? Do you have volunteers standing by to get this done once and for all? Because we are waiting nothing like less than to celebrate comes on that Tuesday evening.
Absolutely. I'm actually outside here with some of our volunteers right now. They're out knocking doors, and I took a little break. I'm here with our campaign manager, by the way.
How are you doing?
We just took a little break to come and tune in here with you guys and, help mobilize virtually as much as we can as well. But our volunteers are out there knocking doors right now. On election day itself, we have cars ready. Volunteers are ready to pick up anybody that needs a ride to the polls and back. So then, that shouldn't even be an excuse for anybody. If anybody out there needs a ride, we are available. We are available from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. The polls is open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. You call us, you inbox us on Facebook, any platform. We'll make sure we get, even if we can't personally pick you up, we have Ubers. We have other people that are in our community that are willing to come and pick people up, because it's very, very important this year that people come out.
I don't usually take position because I try to keep my profession in place. But this one here, you know why? They say when Seku fall in the water, you can't ask whether that beer is wet. It is our own. And we all have to place that phone calls, and especially to our Liberians. I know how some of our people don't waste say, oh, I went 7 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I can't go. Right. No. If it requires you to just tell your job that you're going to be running late, this vote is crucial. How many persons are contesting? And to our followers here, and most of you are Liberians. You live in Philly or outside of that, but you do have relatives, friends, and siblings out there. The borough of Darby, call Philly, that years a son of Liberia, Mr. Joar Dahn, is contesting for the mayor position. That's huge. This will elevate, they will validate our identity as Liberian. A young man like that 15 years ago from refugee camp who got a sense of security upon touching down type JFK to see himself within the corridors of American politics, that is a huge step. So please, let's place that phone call. Make sure you go and get your vote done before. You should be giving other people a ride. Don't wait there, oh, my car tire flat. No, start putting air in that tire. Those sort of excuses is too low. So talk to us here, Mr. Dahn. We do have Liberian-based organizations, African-based organizations. Have you been able to reach out to those people and all the various group within that borough itself for which you are contesting? Have you gone extensively with those people as well?
Absolutely. So we've been involved with so far the especially Liberia Association of Pennsylvania, the Grand Gila Association, the Nima Association, the Bomi Association, all the different county organizations. We've been meeting with some of their leaders, some of their executive committees, especially the Liberian Association of Pennsylvania. Like I said, they've came out to canvass and mobilize and knock on doors with us, especially, and then some of just the regular elders in our community that are not, representing any specific organization. But as far as, the organizations, we've been reaching out to them. We've given them all literature to make sure that, they know our platform and where we stand on the issues and all of those things. But if there's any other diaspora organization that's watching that haven't heard from us, or, wants to hear more from us or about us, tell them to feel free to reach out. Reach out to us. We're on every single platform, every single social media platform. And, we're very easily accessible. So, especially if you're in the Philadelphia area, definitely reach out, and we can set up a time to talk.
What are you bringing to the table here? If elected as mayor of the borough of Darby, what are you bringing to the table, Mr. Dahn?
Yeah, that's a good question. The first thing I'm bringing is energy, number one, and youthful energy at that. I'm a 24-year-old young man that's coming with, a formal education, formal higher education in political science and public administration, and also coming with actual knowledge of the current state of affairs of the community, and also understanding the community. The community is a very, very diverse community. I'm a young man that obviously, as a Liberian, I know how to associate myself with my Liberians, how to speak my colloquial with them, all of those things. But then you put me in with my Black Americans or my white Americans as well. I carry myself just the same way there. So I think for a community as delicate as Darby, we need somebody that can properly identify with all of his constituents. And I think right now I'm the person that fits that description. I'm running against two people, two other individuals. I'm running against this lady called Paula Brown, used to be our former mayor some 15 plus years ago. And she's deciding to rerun again, which she does all the time, decides to rerun. And I'm running against another gentleman as well, another African-American gentleman running as well to be the mayor in Darby here. I'm the youngest in this whole race. My opponents are 60-something years old and 40-something years old. But I'm probably coming at this opportunity, at this time in the race. I'm probably coming with, the most, I guess you can say, political experience, because I currently work for our state Senate. Prior to working for the Senate, as you rightfully said here, I was with all the people that are running our state right now. Being on the board of governor with our Pennsylvania governor, the Speaker of the House, some of our state senators or state representatives. And I was doing that, at 21 years old, so as far as, getting the experience.
So where you're being nurtured into the system is not a new system. This is something that you use being into being with these guys who've been at the higher political level there. So that also helps you to get you fully prepared for the task that you are currently taking.
Oh, absolutely. I joke about this all the time, but my senior year of college, I probably spent more time in our Capitol building, in the capital city of the state of Pennsylvania. I probably spent more time in the Capitol building than in the classroom, because my senior year, that's all I did. I was always in Harrisburg, which is our capital city of Pennsylvania, actually doing practical government work. And as a political science major, that's what we won. Yeah, that's what we won. We won those kind of experience. So I was just fortunate enough that I was able to get those experiences at such a young age. Because not every young person or every person that's studying political science is going to have those kind of opportunities. But I'm a believer. I'm a believer that there's a reason that God put me into all of those particular places at those particular times. Because the rooms I was in. As a young man, as a young immigrant coming from the refugee camp, there's no way. It just logically doesn't really add up. That I was just so happened to be at all the right places at the right time. And to me personally, I just attribute that to God. And so that's kind of some of the things that keep me going, because I know statistically speaking, I'm not supposed to be where I am, especially in the kind of community we live in. The community we live in is not the most safest community or the most progressive community or, the nicest of communities. It's a pretty rough community. It's a community that there's a lot of, Unfortunately, there's a lot of violence. There's a lot of drug issues and some of those other things. But I was able to distinguish myself and be where I am today. And I honestly owe all of that to God.
And interestingly, knowing all of these conditions and scenarios in those communities, you decided to take on the responsibility potentially to fix the mess that is ongoing. Is that your ultimate goal?
Oh, absolutely. I grew up in this community. I came here when I was, I believe, less than 10 years old. I get tired of seeing the current situation, the current state of affairs. I've thought about moving many times, and moving on to a community that's better or something like that. But, I can do that, but that just helped me. So how about, I got a lot of family that live here in Darby too. I got a lot of family, a lot of cousins, siblings, friends, and I just thought about it. If I just run away from the problem, what kind of leader that make me? So I'm here. I'm staying here. I'm gonna do my very best that I can. So instead of just running from the issue, we're actually gonna fix it. We're actually gonna fix it. So
I love that. Instead of running away to fix it, and that would be, and by faith, I can see you're gonna be the youngest mayor for that city. If I can make that sort of educated guess. The police, I don't know what the Constitution say, more or less going to be in your charge. And that's where the responsibility comes in to fix it. So you as a young person, to what plans, if elected as mayor, which I'm convinced that's going to happen, how do you tend to change that sort of narrative with this violence? It's a challenge. It's all over the place. How do you intend to make the borough of Darby much safer?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. So let me start by saying I as a young man here who is very, very far away from from the street life and all of those things, but somehow I've still been a victim of the gun violence in this community. I've been put at gunpoint before, right here in this same community, and my father, who is much, much older, has also been put at gunpoint in the same community while on his way to work one time. And when this happened with my father, this was, even before I came to this country, because my father was here before me. So he came to this country so many years ago, he got put at gunpoint. I myself too, I came to this country, I got put at gunpoint. So you see that pattern there, it starts to make me think, when I have a kid, eventually in the future, if I'm blessed enough to have a son or a daughter, are they eventually going to be put at gunpoint too? That's one of my biggest fear. So knowing that and knowing that, potentially my kids will have to face these same issues, those are the things that motivate me to make sure I can, work on trying to fix these issues before I even bring a family into this community. So, the plan for working on against this issue and advocating against this issue is very simple. It's the same thing I've always been doing. It's just the advocacy efforts. Currently, when I advocate, it's usually, with rallies and all of those other things. But should I be given a platform of mayor, it gives me a bigger platform to be able to better advocate for these issues. Some of the things that as mayor that I plan on working on is working with our state leadership and making sure that we can put together some laws. For our current state of affairs as it relates to gun violence. Something as simple as, common sense gun legislations. When we say common sense gun legislation, just something so simple, in this country to make sure that every single gun that we have, we know who own it. We make sure it's registered first and foremost.
It's in the right hand.
Right hand, we're making sure things, because in my community here, a lot of the guns that are being used for these crimes, these are not guns that are registered to the person that's using it. These are stolen guns, or these are guns that's not even registered, as they call it, ghost guns. So my should I be granted this opportunity would be just giving me more of a platform to be able to work with our state leadership right now to be able to implement some common sense gun legislations right here in our community.
Wow. So I know people campaign in this country boils down to money. How can, even though Tuesday is there, but I know there are a lot still to be done to support your quest. Right now, you're on wheel. People are volunteering, but at the same time, it requires the resources. That's America. And campaign is costly. How can those who want to reach out to your campaign, how can they reach out?
Yeah. I can always be reached, and like I said, on any one of our social media platform. And our Facebook is JFK Don for Darby Mayor. Our Instagram is JFK Don for Darby Mayor as well. And our Twitter page is JFK Don for Mayor. Our campaign phone number, personally, you can give me a call anytime at 484-686-8419. Or you can send me an email.
8419. Yeah, because we want to put it here, and I mean, moving forward, tomorrow, even up to the time that the campaign bell is, and that we have to get this here as possibly as we can. I know it might sound a little bit ridiculous. Which party are you? Are you on a contesting on a political party ticket or what?
Am I on a party? I'm running as a Democrat. If that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Democrat. Yes. And this is a primary. This is a Democratic primary, so we're only running against all Democrats. So there will be no Republicans running in this race. Both of my opponents are both Republicans. I mean, are both Democrats. So when you come out to vote on Tuesday, you'll only be seeing Democratic names on there.
Okay, that's very much important to mention. I know you're on wheel. We don't just want to hold you up here for the longest. The most important thing is out there to go after it until it is all over. Liberians are listening to you right now, far in the air, and this video is going to be that. What could be a message that you want to send out there to folks that are listening right now?
Absolutely. To any Liberian that may be listening to this this broadcast, whether now or later on in the coming hours or days or weeks, I would just say this to you, especially for those that are here in America: get involved in a community if possible, in the American community. That is, even though we are Liberians, if you are here in America, especially if you are a citizen, you are also American. So we want to make sure that we fully involve ourselves in all of the processes here in America. And that includes the local government, our state government, every single level of government. Because for one, especially if you are paying taxes, we have to understand America, if you went to school here in America, one of the biggest things they always taught us in social study classes is taxation without representation. They can't be taxed all the time and you don't have no representation, because that's what happened here in Darby. The Liberian community, we're very big here and we all pay our taxes. And we have such a large population here in Darby, but unfortunately, we don't have any representation in our local government. And so I took the step. I took the bold move to say, what, I will make sure I decide to run. And I've also encouraged other young immigrants, not just Liberians, but immigrants in general, to consider running. I've encouraged other Sierra Leoneans, other Ghanaians, everybody. Especially if you're watching, if you're in the Philadelphia or Delaware Valley area, and you're interested in running for office, if not just in Darby, but anywhere you live, contact me. I can sit with you, we can brainstorm, and we can talk about what that may look like for you. Because I get so happy every time when I see young immigrants, especially the young ones, when we come and we make the best out of the opportunity. Out of this quote unquote American dream that we always talk about. So I would say that to the Liberian community: fully involve yourself, and make sure that your voices are heard.
Okay, and you're quite correct. A perfect example of that immigrant is Umanan from Minnesota, Ethiopian, who came as a refugee. Right now, she's a congresswoman. If they can do it, why can't we do it? Well, folks, before I let you go, you ever had a slight thought you're going to find yourself in this position? You ever had that sort of thought?
No. Growing up, I played sports. I played sports all my life. I was a star athlete. I had like athletic scholarship and those things of those nature. So I always thought I was going to be a professional athlete. I always thought.
Then politics came into being. Why,
exactly.
Mr. Dahn? Why?
But I just told you. I said the same thing.
I know.
It's been there from the very beginning, because as I was playing sports, as I was playing sports, I was always the captain of the team or the one motivating the other people on the team to be able to play and be a better player, kind of thing. As I was doing all of those things, I realized, what? Maybe I have influence on others. I have influence on my peers. And when you have influence, it usually translates to,
Yeah, that's a huge factor. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So all of those things just transitioned into my professional career. All of my childhood decisions and my childhood things that I was doing just ended up transitioning into my professional career. And so I mean, you can't take away from sports and politics. I will like
I know, but they are in collaboration. Look, Mr. Dahn, I want to thank you so much. Hey, please, Mr. Banto is in backstage. I'm going to be here. He's been in the Vanguard and Aisha and all of those folks. Whatever information that he sent us here, we will have to be doing that tuning to get a wake up, to wake our folks up. Please, all the people who like double, triple, I understand. Tuesday, put that day aside. As long as you are qualified as a voter, vote. Vote. This is why our other friends are accommodated. This is why they sit at the head table. We complain. You go to welfare, Hispanic. I don't want to sound ridiculous here, but these are some of the things because they are involved. They don't wait until they are 56. This is a young man. He's a taxpayer. The education is there. He's stepping out, and not just only for him. He's stepping out. And I like your tone that you are encouraging other people in other places to come out. It's not an Africa that you're going to be intimidated. No, you're just 24, you're not big, so you're not right. No, it's not it. Once you qualify on their law, you're going to be going. Mr. Dahn, we know that you are on wheel. We can't keep you here for the long years, but I will say our prayers and thoughts out there with you. Anything that you want us to do in terms of getting information out there to our audience as well, moving forward to to Tuesday, don't hesitate. Let David Banto knows he's always he's been bossing my line here crazy, and he as a community leader, that's how it's supposed to be. We need to support one another as a Liberian. And I was saying here that Liberian politics, sedition for this, we should stop it. This is America. Look at these people's visions. Look at one of your own and supporting. I wish they had it up or some sort of a leverage where if you live in Rhode Island, you can also vote in the borough of Darby. I will be there early dawn Tuesday morning. Okay, Mr. Dahn, thank you. We're going to put in the phone calls to our friends and family out there. To you, be safe. Please let us know anything, those information. Like I said, just give them to David, and then we're going to pass them over to our viewers too for a contribution. Please, folks, we have to contribute. It's not just auto A. Volunteer, especially with in Philly, the borough area there, volunteer to join this young man campaign for the city of Mayor. Mr. Dahn, thank you so much, and I wish you best of all luck. And when the dust is settled, it's all over, definitely we're going to have you here again. But then the due is see. But I can tell you for sure, we are here and we will support your cause. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Mr. So.
All right. Okay. I will be bringing in Mr. Dave. Well, I'm Alfonso Ziansot of the Liberia Public Radio here. We are in the politics of the USA. That's a young Liberian, Joar Dahn, contesting for the borough of Darby mayor. They are going to a primary. You heard him saying here. So one of the persons that is in the vanguard, pushing the lines and working hard to make sure that he gets the primary so that we will go against the Republican is Mr. David Banto. He's standing by right now in Philly as well. Let me just bring him in so we get his take from the guy that he's support. Let's see here. There he is. David Bantu is the former president of our own bars and district associations, actively involved in community organizations, has his own foundation as well. Mr. Bantu, good afternoon.
Good afternoon once again, Mr. So. Are you hearing me now?
Loud and clear. Perfect. Much better.
Very good. Very good. Thank God. Well,
okay.
I've been listening while I was in backstage.
Mm-hmm. So, tell me, how you got involved with Mr. Joar campaign? Is that because he's a Liberian? What did you see? What was the thing that enticed you to be part of this here? Because every time I call you, we are knocking on door. We on wheel. We're moving this. And to be honest with you, I'm happy because this is what we should be doing, especially when the person is fit. But let me not let the cat out of the bag. Why you got involved?
Okay, thank you, Mr. So. And let me begin with a very important statement here by thanking you guys, LPR Radio. I think from every indication, as a community-based media group, I think this is what you guys should be doing. And you stress a very good point here this evening. Our Liberian, I will not even hit on the immigrant door for this time, but I will specifically hit on the door of our Liberian. We need to learn why we are in this country. Let us do away with things that will continue to keep us down. All right? For example, the media operation you guys are carrying on is all about, you know, shining the spotlight on things in our community. All right, not only Liberia. So talking about the CDC and all of this thing, recently we were on Costa show. So you will not believe it. When we left that show, people calling me for all kinds of, I mean, I don't understand. At what point we're going to get, you listen to the young man this evening, all our challenges, you can tell that this young man have everything in just one set of basket. All right?
He lives the situations in the borough there. He knows it. He went through it. He experienced it.
Yes. So at what point? Tell me, for example, the borough that this man is contesting this position. So you have over almost 5,000 immigrants that live in our city. All right. That number, put it against the population of that entire borough. What percentage you going to come up with? Now, if something happened in our city, how in the world are you going to tell me that you will not be affected? And these are things we are talking about. Anyway, we have time to talk. We're going to talk. I'm going to answer your question now, how I got in touch with this gentleman.
Yeah, so how you got involved?
Yeah, for the listening public, let me backtrack here a little bit to introduce myself and set the premise. My name is David Bento, and I'm the executive director for the Multicultural Youth Development Initiative of Delaware County. The organization is a community-based youth network that based in Upper Darby, is an advocacy group. So this program was established on actually the organization that we run in Liberia. But being that we live in this community and most of our donors, the supporters are within this community, so we designed this pilot program, which is the Multicultural Youth Development Initiative. And the mission or the mission of this program is to accommodate children from all other background, diverse background, people that are coming from the country, you know, that come. Upper Darby, Delaware County is a diverse city. So children that are coming here, in order for us to be able to have them well positioned, we develop this program. And through this program, I was able to get in touch with Dahn, because he was one of those guys that were pushing programs for all here and there, and we have to do XYZ.
Because he works with the state, right?
Yeah, Dahn work with the state. Like you listen, I mean, those that are listening, you listen to him. This young man been in the system. And you see, for me, like we're in a church today, I think I sent you some photo. I went to present him at a church. So I cannot shy away from the young man. You know why? Because the office that his position that he's seeking right now, this young man is overqualified to lead our borough. I can tell you that. And the reason I do this thing, because we have kids in this community who can do certain things, but because no one to be there to support them, you know, their dream just died down. This guy been alongside with this organization, our group, advocating for different issues in the community, from gun violence to taxation, like what he mentioned today. We have talked all this, and not just talking about this thing. We bring people who are actually responsible to answer questions regarding all of these challenges or issues. Like, for example, during the Black Lives Matter protest, our township, we were able to engage people in policy making, including the police commissioner. And Dahn was a young man that led the youth group for all to sit with the police in the DA office to have discussion, roundtable discussion. So when he contacted me with what he's trying to go after right now, I'm like, okay, young man, you see, these are things we've been doing. We've been fighting from the outside. But so the way the system is set up, you cannot fight from the outside to easily win. Unless when you are,
you have to be part of, and that's why people don't know.
Yeah.
You can't be outside the sport page and you dare say you're cheering. You have to be there to showcase that.
You listen to him. There are things that the young man push for, and because when you are out of there, they close that door, a different ball game as compared to when you are sitting at the table. So when he came up to me with the entire, with the whole idea, I embrace it. He said, look, Uncle Dave, you know what? Everything that you taught us in this community, things that you want us to do, things that we work with you on, this is the time I will need a boost from you guys. I call a couple of friends, and this even up to now, people call me, what are you doing with our little man? And so we need to get away from this idea, this mentality. We need to get away. Because your own, you have to support your own. For example, Darby Boroough, if this young man is in our office as a mayor, guess what? There are a whole lot of issues that will be addressed over there, and our people will benefit. Wow. I'll tell you right now, in the borough there are a whole lot of taxes, all kinds of funny taxes that they create. And tell me, as a homeowner, you pay off your home over $80,000 to $90,000. But for $3,000, they want to sell your house because of fees that they attach to some credit collector. And these are the issues we're talking about. So for this young man to take their bold step, I, for one, I have no doubt in my mind that I can stand anywhere to make sure that this young man gets elected. And I'm planning on the African American, the immigrant community, that they have to come out on Tuesday to vote. Because
that is very crucial. And that's what I was telling you. He's one of our own. So that support, it has to come so that the people at the end of the day, they will see it. Because if you can't show up for your own, who you think going to show up? Yeah. We have to go there. The guys, especially those within that borough that will be voting, there must be no excuse that somebody will say, oh, because I have to work and I'm on shift, I'm not voting. Anybody who did that is just so ridiculous. And that's what we need to stop.
Even at that, we still have low room to work around because we don't want to mess with people's employment too. But we still have room to work around. All right, say for example, if you have to be at work at 8 o'clock, around 7, you can swing by based on the distance, and vote. But the good thing, the poll will be closing at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
We don't want to trust that.
It starts what time?
We don't want to trust that. Oh, I'm going to work the car. No, we don't want to trust that. So if you can do it before you start.
But my man, they call and say, oh, Mr. A call out and say, oh boy, I can stay. If you have 4, 5, 6 persons staying, then your vote is diminishing big time.
Yeah. Yes. So
the pool opens at what time?
7 a.m.
You've been working aggressively here, Mr. Bantu, with this whole campaign here pushing. What is the atmosphere on the ground? What is the momentum? Where is it being shifted?
Well, in terms of, you mean the atmosphere with
the atmospheres? What are the enthusiasm that is being built? And I heard you saying there are 3-person contestants. Where is the momentum? Where, if we're to put it on a scale, where do we see it burning?
So I tell you that the young man, I think he made himself very explicit when he had the flow. These guys, the energy, the amount of energy these children are moving with, I can't even stand it. Sometimes if I want to catch up with them, we have to meet somewhere.
You're prepping now. You say, let me go sit down. I go drink 2-3 bottles of water for I come in general.
And they are all over. They are all over. These young guys, they are all over. So, in terms of, weighing the energy on a real scale, I'm telling you, these guys are pushing more than the other candidate. And the worst thing where these people are not even knocking on doors. You listen to him, the other lady, she been, mayor in the past, she went and coming back. So I think based on that, she just kind of laid back because she feels that this man is young, he's not even going to go nowhere and that. But I tell you this, the outgoing mayor, this is the funny thing though, the outgoing mayor, Mayor Ellen Thomas, I work with this lady on other issue with our young people when this gun violence thing was involving a lot of children from Darby area getting killed in Philadelphia area. So we were able to meet at our meeting. We talked, and this lady been a mayor for a while over the end. Before this this whole election, for her stepping out, she explained certain things to me, with regards to what you want to see in this community. And from that, so I can tell you, this young man, the chance is there. I can tell you that. So all our people need to do Tuesday, they need to step out, go out there and vote.
Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the momentum is going to start with the young people. We're down. I can show you that.
Yeah, and I think there is something here that also factor in here. He's a young guy, 24, is almost like my son as well.
Right.
And so there is a big political factor and implications of his age, because it could be saying that his friends, there will be a motivation to his peers group. Wait a minute, this guy, we have the same age group. See, he contesting. There are few things that he did. There are things he put into order. I need to wake up and go. I need to support him. He will be there for all. So that's a huge factor there. And I think that's where he connecting. And because you look at the young folks, they are in very good numbers in their voting block, except that they do not turn up. And so that's a very good thing that he's doing, getting out there, mingling with them, shaking hands with them, talking to them, encouraging them, getting connected. That's a good workable strategy.
So in terms of inspiration, I can tell you this young man, you listen to him. He is,
hold on one second. Let's play this here for the benefit of our audience.
Bring it on before I can throw light on it.
Let's see here. Just bear with us here a little bit. Let's see here. Okay, let's see here. Let me see what's going on here. All right, let me see here. Hold on, let me see. Let me see. Hold on one second. Okay, I will try to play that back. Hold on, guys. I don't know why the audio muted. Let's see. I will try to get it back in here. Yeah, go on. Let's see what I will try to get it back.
Yeah, so what I was just about to say about this young man.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened, but okay, go ahead.
So what I was about to say about this young man, you listen to him, your listening public listen to him. He's a very selfless young man. To challenge other young people in other states to follow suit with what he started. That's just a clear indication that he's willing to even bring more people on board. Whether you are from Sierra Leone, you are from Nigeria, you are from Ghana. All this guy want to see happening is bringing about change. All right. So it's not about him, but basically just to represent this community and represent us on those issues that are affecting our community. And you clearly saw that this evening.
Okay, let me see here what I'm able to get this one going again. Let me see.
Hello, neighbors. For those that may not know me, my name is Joar Dahn, and I hope to meet you sooner rather than later. I've spent my entire professional career serving others, especially the residents of Darby Borough. Today, February 1st, 2021, The first day of Black History Month, I would like to make history right here in my own hometown of Darby Borough by officially announcing my candidacy for mayor. Making history is nothing new to Darby, as we are a very historic borough, from Friends Meeting House to the historic Free Library of Darby, where I spent many summers. Last week, I celebrated my 15th year in America. I remember 15 years ago getting off that plane at JFK International Airport in New York and finally feeling a sense of security because I was in America. I never knew what security felt like prior to that. I had lived in Ghana for 5 years as a refugee, escaping the brutal Liberian Civil War. After getting off that plane, I was eager to finally experience the American dream, a promise of a better life. In my 15 years in Darby, I've accomplished a lot, from being the captain of our local youth sports teams to eventually becoming one of the youngest statewide public official for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, courtesy of our governor and our state senate. I am Darby Borough. I'm homegrown. From spending many summer days playing football at Penwood Middle School to eating cassava leaf at JD's Liberian restaurant and to the many memorable youth nights at Kia Graves. Even my primary care provider is right here in Darby Borough. As a young man, I was always told that we, the youth, are the future leaders of tomorrow. Well, tomorrow is today, and the future is now. I hope I can count on your support. Please follow all of our social media platforms below to find out how you can support me on this journey and for more information on my campaign. Thank you.
Mr. Banto, that's a very effective word communicated, seasoned that tries to connect. He's making a connection. Taking a retrospect where he came from to be where he is now and his own gratefulness to the community despite. And so he said, I even wanted to move at a certain point, but he was very persistent. The courage was still there, that one day I shall overcome this. As a young person, age 24, vying for such a huge political office, if elected, that's it. You're going to be under control over maybe, I don't know, the budget, but it means the police and all of those other major institutions going to be under his control. And his determination, things that he experienced to resolve them, to advocate for them, that is significant. Are you guys, are the Liberians within our borough, the immigrants community, are they firing up, ready for Tuesday?
So, Mr. So, thank you for that question, because this is why, for the most part, I'm always in and out of my house. Now I'm on LPR, and I believe both of your listeners are resident of Darby Borough. So, we, other than they giving all that guarantee by coming out, we'll continue to harmonize, appeal to them. But from what I'm seeing so far with the energy, who kids are knocking on door. In fact, the last couple of days, I was with them somewhere on 3rd Street. We walk down the street and you see citizens for every time they step out, people coming to say, who is this young man? And that's another good sign. All right. And they are knocking on doors. All we are just asking now is on that day, on Tuesday, on that fateful day, everything that we are doing, let everything be translated into physical vote. And that our prayer. So again, the momentum is there. People are responding. In fact, as we speak, there are some million ballots already that are going in for your man. For the young man. People million ballots. Those that will not be able to be at the poll. So again, They are issuing out over 150 ballots out already. Those that will not be able to, appear at the poll, and people are mailing it in, So that all of these things will help. So in terms of the community being mobilized and energized, I can definitely say yes, but again, it will only be based on how our people will turn out on Tuesday, which is very, very important. And this is why I want to even say a very big thank you to you guys at this last minute to bring the young man on, to do his live pitch and all of that.
Okay, well, I know you are on wheel. It's not all over yet. Hopefully we're going to come back here again. I want to deal when everything's sealed out. I'm optimistic. I think the energy is in him. And he's very confident of himself. That's one of the things, one of the key things. Anything that you want to do, feel confident of himself. And that's what I asked in that question. Are you feeling nervous? He said, no, I am not, because I know what's up. So, and as a young person, I think it's to his advantage as well.
He is very confident, because the thing is, so he stressed a very good, important point. The only time you get kind of nervous. Are you still getting my audio or call?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm hearing you.
Yes, the young man, he's prepared for the job. So I don't think with the effort that he's making, anything should be there to get him nervous and not being optimistic. So it's just a combination.
Okay. All right, Mr. Bonto, we're going to cut the evening. I know you have to go join the campaign as well to get a door knocking to do that outreach as well. Your microphone, I don't know why you muted it again. You muted your microphone. You have. Yes, it's okay now. Okay, so before we let you go, it's just not only people within our borough, folks, Liberians that are listening, they have family members, they have siblings, different people, connections, friends. It's about all of us to reach out to see how we can all rally around this young man, financially, morally, spiritually, physically. Those of you that are going to be there to make sure that you do what you're supposed to do. Before we let you go, so what would be the message of people within the borough of Darby? Listening to this message of this young man is encouraging, it's motivating, very inspiring, and challenging, because he wants to sit at the head table as well, to be part of the decision making, because that's when your presence, the people feels your presence. Don't always be at the back, People always at the back, because those that sit at the head table, they have the ability to recognize fingers or hands that is being raised. So when you're at the back, the possibility of them recognizing your hand, because there will be multiple hands out there. So it's anybody's game. But when you sit at the head table, you potentially make that decision to say, okay, yeah, what you say. Yeah, what can we hear from you? And I think that's the path he's on. And we must be able to support his quest, a political quest, to make sure that his American dream is achieved.
All right, thank you, Mr. So. And again, for my last message here, it's very simple. At the end of the day, all of the resources that we are putting into this thing, the talking, the knocking on door, all aiming at actual vote. I want to establish that before I even come to a population. So actual vote is what can make this thing to happen. So despite the kids that are out there with the energy and other supports are coming, and I want to use the public forum to say thank you to Mr. Costa the last time, because on his show, we were able to raise at least pretty close to $1,000, which helped a lot, a little bit. And those that donated, I want to say thank you to everyone. But the game is not over yet. So my message here is Tuesday is the finishing line. That when people are heading to the line where, okay, yeah, we are here, and this is what we put behind. Right. So I'm asking residents of Darby Borough. By the way, let me bring this into Mr. So since I'm on here now and I'm having this little time. Another young man is also running in the township that I'm in here too. They all
Yeah,
fall on
I don't know. I
county.
sent that, but I don't know why
He
he didn't.
was having difficulty coming on Tony, and he running to be
City
a councilman in this township, Darby, Upper Darby Township, councilman. I mean, but for him, he kind of, little good position because he works at the representative office right now, and the rep is on the field, the city mayor is on the field for him, and so he just told her, Uncle, you guys can deal with that. I mean, but definitely the kids are making your headway. So all that I'm asking everybody to do here today is, other than us having a true representation sitting by that table or on the table with the policy maker, we are not going to go anywhere. So this is the opportunity everybody can make use of. So please, if you are in the Darby Borough, if you are in the Upper Darby Township Borough, please.
It's still in your column. You gotta do that
to vote, because it is very important. You listen to the young man. I'm sorry, the other guy. I mean, I sent you the video, but he didn't come on. But I mean, same old thing. All the kids are very ready season. So you listen to him. I don't think anybody should walk away from this show tonight with any doubt that this man cannot perform this job. I mean, come on now. So again, before we link out with these kids, we know who they are. This man, outside of even all that we are hearing. So can you believe it? When I left Costa Show the last time, a family called me. Oh, this young man, he is the cause today for 7 of my family members to be in the United States because of the letter that he brought from the governor office. So just to tell you that all that he put in our video, left where he's from.
Recommendations, very crucial.
This young man did not, come to this country to forget, but where he's from. 2, when he mentioned that the situation that he grew up in, it was not a right one. So that's the fact, because the neighborhood he grew up in is a very tough neighborhood. Children, gun violence and all of that. So all of these things that we are hearing from him today, he was attempting to move and all that is a fact. But still, he remains in that position with his mother doing everything, and that's another thing I want to stress on him.
Okay, quickly, we are out of time. 30 seconds.
Okay, yeah, I will close it real quick. Liberian, we should be proud of our own, like you said, because when these kids are going through all of these things, we sit back and not doing nothing. But when they are successful, then we are all on Facebook trying to claim, connection to them. I don't think it's fair. But thank you, Mr. So.
Nobody wants to associate with anything bad, but the thing about it, right? You former president, when it's bad, it is the hate. But when it's good, all of us, everybody want to get credit. So we have that sort of syndrome. We have to get done with it. Mr. David Bantu is the former president of the Boston District Association. My man, you start getting your own Social Security from Boston District? I even get one check here with the people who are there. You're doing the Philadelphia way or what?
No, Mr. Denny, I'm still
processing your paper. They still processing your paper.
You are the first president. You guys came before us, so I don't know if you
but they jump over us, and you the guys the last you're getting your Social Security.
We are in the same time zone.
Okay. All right. Well, folks, that's how we're going to leave it this afternoon in this special with this young Liberian, Joar Dahn, is contesting for the Borough of Darby for the positions of mayor. The primary is this Tuesday, according to what we are getting from the organizers, and you listen to him here as well. I'm Afonso Z, and so out of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Sometimes we have to mix it up. We got to get out of our own comfort zone. We have to make sure our position is stabilized, is stable here as well, because we're getting Liberia's ranked the 5th most corrupt country in Africa. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Oh my goodness. I said before, maybe we need to talk to Jeff Bezos and just give Amazon to Liberia. We'll go sit down somewhere after a while, and then we can come back. Maybe we'll have to be colonized again for another thing. Until then, folks, in Radio Land, my viewers, Mr. Amos George, Zian Kuye, right here from my own ocean state of Rhode Island, Doric Poor, Kabinan, Son, Diago, Sandra, Vivian, and of course, one of our own prominent, valuable listener, Matthew, and Mrs. Mary Toris Nangat. We want to thank you so much for sharing your event with us. My namesake, Alfonso Piercing, Ebenezer, Ty Jones, and the list goes on and on and on. That's how we're going to draw the curtain down. I'm not sure whether we're going to have a second segment here with this terrible news. When the delegation has just arrived, we are hearing Major Jefferson Koji possibly could touch down. So it seems that the government delegation is still being reinforced. We try to reach out to them, but we are still playing that tactic as to who can really speak, what the purpose of the delegation, what it hopes to achieve. But at the end of the day, hopefully, we will know exactly why it is. We want a good thing to happen to Liberia. We must have our own political differences, but we want good thing. Because when you call Liberia, everybody you talk to, there's a problem. How can we resolve this? We need the government to keep focus. The opposition needs to do their own work. They need to start putting some pragmatic conversations, something authentic, genuine to the Liberian people. And this is why I don't like when I see these little tattler politicking is taking place. Instead of focusing on the issue, instead of providing the alternative as to how you can have it achieved, have it done. If it is not going in that direction, then there's nothing that gives me the guarantee that you're going to do it different. I want to put all of you in that sort of basket of deplorable because your tone is not refined, your language is unseasoned, and you are not giving second thought to what you put out there. And so people will not take you serious. Well, folks, I want to thank you so much and for being here. By God's willing, same time, same station. We're going to be back here with more editions. We should have a second. Okay, well, let's see what happened. Mr. Joyce said we should have a second show. I think he wants to start firing up here. Who knows? Today is Sunday, so we've got to get the information to float to our people. Until then, folks, have a pleasant evening. And I will see you shortly.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, God is praise, hallelujah, give him the highest praise, hallelujah, give me the highest praise. In the morning when I wake up, in the night when I wake up, I will lift up my voice to heaven and give you the highest praise. Hallelujah to my King. I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Katwae. What does it mean to be a woman? A black woman, an African woman, a Liberian woman?
To be a Liberian woman is Jiglunu, which means remember. Remember that you are strong because of your experiences and to always be true to who you are. Yakama Jiglunu. Panife. Menegaga, Nyenyengu Sui, Yawega, Cody Lai.
So I'm Alice Johnson Hina, and I'm gonna talk to you on failing and not giving up.
Mwanjama jaweyo, mwanjama iyanjaweyo, mwanjama jaweyo, mwanjama. Kake Liberia Musofindi, Wole Wudin. Ka Anna Talifa, Maliate. Being a Liberian woman means telling our story, our own story with no apologies and authentically.
She brave. Oh, baby.
Farafi muso kolo eminere. Labia muso kolo eminere. Muso lojan.
You are beautiful.
This is LPRO TV with Afonso Z and Soul, live from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio. In today's discussion, we will highlight high-call issues from the motherland, Republic of Liberia, and issues affecting our community. Asking tough questions is vital to me to have my listeners and viewers informed with the sole purpose of demanding answers that are authentic and meant to be head-scratching situation. Oh yes, to add pageantry to the conversation, senior analysts and contributors of the Liberia Public Radio are here to dissect the conversation. From Baltimore, senior analyst Professor Asese Labozalo, CEO, Real Academy and Gideon's Polytechnic Academy in Liberia. Senior contributor Amos George is in Atlanta, Georgia, a critical thinker and critic of the GOL. And opposition LPR TV Foreign Affairs Analyst Leo Johnson's Executive Director, Empowerment Square, based in Canada, and President, Liberian Community in Canada. And on the radar is LPR TV, liberal, progressive, and host Conversations with Sam Saint Blockul Bronto in Studio B in Saxton, Sacramento, California, is also on the radar. And of course, the doyen, former state broadcaster at ELBC and ELWA, and former presidential aspirant, Republic of Liberia, James Gamian, is based in the Garden City of New Jersey, is here. I am your host and anchor, Afonso Zienso, of the New England Bureau Desk of the Liberia Public Radio. Come, let's join the talking point, fair, balance, and objective.
Have you heard the news? Well, worry no more. Carson's photo and video production has been providing elegant weddings, conventions, and birthday videographic for the Liberian communities since 2006, paying attention to detail and emotion throughout the day, and taking time in the editing process to create a unique video you will want to watch with family members, friends, and future generations, shooting quietly and professionally, and without distracting you or your guests is vital. For more information, please contact us at 484-786-3337. That's 484-786-3337, or we can also be reached at www.CarsonPhotoVideoProduction.com. Please tell Carson Photo and Video Production that Asheville the Giant Golly sent.
You've worked for months to bring your or your client's event to life, but unfortunately, the world had another plan. In reality, the only thing you lost is the venue. We take your vision for hosting a virtual conference and bring it to life online. No matter how complex your agenda is, we produce a smooth, engaging experience. Call the Liberia Public Radio today and schedule your event. Our number is 682-433-8802. If you prefer to submit your request via email, please send the request to liberiapublicradio2012@gmail.com. Our staff are standing by waiting for your phone call.